Good morning, people. It's a Thursday morning and we've just arrived on a job to set up a marquee. It's a 4x6 marquee, this one. They've got some tables, chairs, carpet and lights. So it's not a full setup, we don't have any heating on it, but it's got pretty much everything we normally supply: tables, chairs, carpet and lights. I've just had a look at the garden, it's fairly straightforward. I'm just going to bring all the stuff in now, but it's quite a straightforward job. There's all the bits and pieces on the van. So we've got all my poles, all my end panels, that's the canopy, fixtures and fixings, tables and chairs. Okay, I've just had a look at the garden. It's fairly straightforward. We've got a little step to hop over, but other than that it's pretty straightforward. And the customers made me a cup of tea as soon as I arrived, which is always a good sign. Right, I shall get all this stuff in and then we should proceed to set it all up. Okay, we're just on the job now. Got all the bits and pieces in. There's the garden. Pretty straightforward. All my poles and fixings and the flooring go on the grass area. It's nice and level. Okay, I'll just have my cup of tea and we should crack on. Okay, first thing, lay all the poles out, get them roughly in position. We got A's, B's, C's and D's on this particular marquee. In fact, that's on all the marquees. So just join the ends up. That's fixing the B poles in there. They run down parallel the length of the garden. And the A's, which I'm putting in there now, join the roof to the sides. We've also got C and D poles. The C's are the legs, which we'll be putting on later. And the D's are the ground bars, which tie it all in and give it the structure, its strength. Each one of the bays is 2 metres, so that's the 6 metres there. Next we're going to roll out the canopy. Always a lot easier if you've got 2 people to do it, but on this occasion I was working alone. But it's still doable, but you just got to obviously allow more time to get it done. Right, these are the C poles now, which I'm undoing. I've already got the feet attached to these ones from a previous job, so I just left them on rather than having to put each foot on individually. So jacking it up now, get the 2 centre ones on, and then the 2 end corner pieces go on afterwards. Okay, pull the canopy into sort of roughly where you want it and pull down the legs, which we'll put on towards the end when we're putting on the straps. These are our side and end panels I'm bringing round now. I'm getting my bungees ready. So we start in the centre. Put a bungee on, bring one right to the far end just to hold it in position, and then we work our way round putting the bungees on. All the way down. That just makes it a lot easier and saves on the ladder work, putting it on afterwards. Okay, right, that's the structure.
Place this one up. That's the end.
Canopy and your two end panels. These are your doorways, they're going to go here. This is the apex of the tent. We've got the legs on one side there. They're going to lift this side up, raise it all up, and then putting the lights and all the sides on. So it's fairly straightforward, like I say. The ground's all nice and level. Yeah, I'm going to give these a little bit of a wipe down. Some of them have got a few stains on them. It's just, well, you pick it up when you roll them up in the garden, but it's easier to do it now while it's down before I lift it up. And then I'll have to do it off a ladder. Even though the ground is fairly level, it's always better to do it before you raise it up. Right, that's our next job.
Okay, give it a good wipe over. Again, saves doing it on the ladders, as I said. Just get it all done, anything there's any stains. And then get our C-poles with the legs attached. Again, lift it up. Careful not to strain yourself, as I'm doing it on my own. That's the two end poles going on there. Get the poles all positioned in the correct way round, and then we'll roll out our side panels. Again, we're going to start at one end. We fold them as two panels, so it's a 4 metre length. Do one on each end just to hold it in position, and then we'll come around and bungee the tops of them. And the same on this one. Just zip up the ends now, so it ties it all in, the sides and the ends.
Okay, that's one side done. Now I'm going to do the other. That squares it all up and ties it all in, nice and tight. Yeah, ground's quite level as well, which is a good thing. Bit muddy, but that's to be expected this time in early October, which is the reason why people are hiring them, because the weather's going into early autumn, get a lot of rain. So yeah, get this side on. And then you can start putting all the lights round. And after that, then the flooring goes down last, and then we get it all in position. Okay, we should get this side on.
Okay, same procedure as the last one. Bungee on each end, just to hold it in position. Go around and get me the last panel. Some more bungees. Okay, again we'll pull all the ends down and tie it in with the Velcro, the zips. Next goes on the ground bars. Three on each side on this one. just slot into the feet, and that gives the structure all its strength. That will stop that shaking about too much if there was any wind. And it also doubles up, you can tie all the bungees onto the bottom so it stops it flapping around if it's too windy. Now, not the favourite part of the job for me, this is tying on the bungees on the bottom. If the ground is really flat, you have to lift it up slightly just to get the bungee underneath it. Takes a bit of time, but all part of the job. Tie the little velcros around each down pole, that'll stop the flapping around as well. So it's tied at the top, bottom, and also on each pole.
Okay, that's all the framework done, built up, all the bungees around the bottom, and it's all squared up. I've measured it from the sleepers on this side, 900mm, so we've got 900mm either side so we can get our straps, as long as we've got 1/2 metre or more to get our straps down there, which we have. So it's nice and even on this side. I think the garden is slightly out of shape or offset, so on this side it looks a bit like it's at an angle. If you line it in with those slabs, it looks like it's coming off at an angle, but if I line it in with that, it will be out with that, and that is a critical point because I need to get down there to fix my straps. But anyway, that's pretty good. Next job is all the lights. So the lights are in this yellow bucket here, which I'm going to bring round and start draping them around it. We're going to run the power supply from here, so it'll run out the back and come up that side. It won't be a trip hazard then, it'll all be out of the way. So when the guests come, obviously from that side, everything will be out of their way. Right, we should get on with that.
Okay, get all the lights out of the box that I'll need. On this particular size marquee, I'm going to need 2 sets. So we'll start at one corner where we're going to run the power supply, which is at the back of the garden, into the left hand corner here where you see me start. And we just run the wiring along the top. Run it up to the top of the marquee, the apex. There's a number of ways you can do it. You can just have it running down each side. Some people do it that way. Some people have it running down the side and one down the centre. But on this one, we're just going to run it down the sides, up each end, and finish again on the other side. These particular lights are soft white festoon lights, which are quite popular at the moment. They don't have any settings on them to change the colour or dim them. They're just the basic light. It's just enough light to light it up, but not too bright. It's for an 18th birthday party, this one, so obviously they'll have other lights, a DJ or whatever. But ones just light it up enough. So we've got a little bit of slack on this side where we finish, so what we'll do is just use the runoff and bring it down the other side just to use it up. Finally, just finish it off at the top, tie it up out of the way, and then we'll just have the cable that's going to run in from the power supply down the other end of the garden. We'll tidy up all the wire, tucking them in the velcros on that down pole. That's going to be our socket for the lights, which we fix up at sort of head height. Prefer to keep them up off the floor if I can, that way the customer can then get to them easy enough if I need to unplug it or plug it in. So we just run them down the ends, tie them all in, tuck the cabling outside of the marquee.
Okay, that's all the lighting set up. Plugged in here with my cable running down out the back and over to the power point over there. So we run them right the way around the marquee, up to the higher point and down. We use 2 sets on this, they're 14 metres. I think it's 40 metres, that's where a join was. We obviously have a bit of an overhang, being as it's only a 6 metre tent. 12 metres either side, and then obviously I think there's about 4 metres, about 3 metres that area there, so another 6 metres there at the top parts. Right, I'm just going to run it round the back now and plug it in, and hopefully we'll have some lights. Well, we've got light there. Hopefully we'll have light in the tent. And we have, as I can see it from here. All's good. Get that cabling out of the way. Okay, let's have a look inside. Yeah, looks pretty good. All the cabling tucked up at this, up out of the way. They can add another, obviously a socket if they want to plug in some music or whatever. That'll be fine. They're not having heaters on this job. It's quite mild at the moment for October. About 19 degrees, so it's probably not going to be too cold in the evening, especially when there's a lot of people here. Okay, that's that done. Next section is we're going to put an underlay down, a blue flooring, and then a carpet will go on top of that, and then finally we'll strap it all down in place. Okay, on to the next one.
Okay, we're going to roll out our underlay, which is just a blue tarpaulin, heavy duty tarpaulin we use, so it stops any moisture coming up from the grass underneath and should keep it pretty dry. I'm using 2 tarpaulins on this one, as it's, I think they're 3 metres long, these ones. So we double up. It's in position, and then we'll roll out the carpet. Most of the products I'm using here, I will leave a link in the description. So the carpet, the tarpaulin, bungees, hammers and so on, I will leave in the description. So just pull the carpet into shape, into position rather. And then we start nailing it down. You can use 6-inch nails for this. We normally leave the tarpaulin slightly short of the end of the tent, so when we nail it in we don't go for the tarpaulin, just straight through the carpet and then into the ground, into the mud. So we come halfway down on the ends just to hold it in position, and then we do one side nailing as we go. Most of the time the ground's soft enough and you can just push it in with your hand. Sometimes you'll need to nail it. And then we can pull over the carpet and tighten it up once we've got one side in. I use my feet there, the old carpet fitters trick, just to pull it tight, get any creases out, and then we can nail the two ends in. Keep tightening it as we go along just to take out any creases. The grass is quite short in this garden, so it wasn't too bad. Sometimes if the grass is too long, it's going to be lumpy. There's not much you can do about it. When we come and look at the jobs, we always advise the customer to cut the grass as short as possible. Some do, some don't, so it's just one of those things. Okay, just bringing me tables and chairs in. Six-foot tables on this job, pretty much standard. 6 foot or 1.8 metres. Roll up the Velcro window panels, let a bit of light in. Some people prefer them open, some people prefer them closed, depending if it's an evening or a day function, or if it's overlooked by a neighbour. Some people like to have them down. Just set up the rest of the tables, put them roughly in position. The customer again can just move them around to suit. Just give the tables a little wipe over, they're not too bad. Freshen them up. Okay, it's pretty much the tent built. Just going to strap around the edges now. That's the last job. We've got all the tables and chairs in there. As you can see, the lights are on. We've rolled up the Velcro panels so you can see the windows. I've left one down just to show the customer that they can be either left down or left up. Right, that's it. Next thing will be, just choose this. Okay, the final job is strapping it all down. So we use the ratchet straps, one on each corner, and on this particular one we're going to use one in the middle, as it's not forecast to be too windy over the weekend. Sometimes we might put 4 on each side, but this one, as I say, it's going to be quite mild and not too windy. So 3 on each side should be fine. And we use the tent pegs on these ones. They're 15-inch stakes. We bash them into the ground and just tighten them into position. Sometimes if the ground is really soft, we might double up with the pegs. But on this particular one, it's quite hard to ground and it went in and held quite well. Same on the other side. Get the stakes bashed in, and then we tie our ratchet straps. And the last one goes on the end here. Put the ratchet on and tighten it into position. Okay, that's the tent done. All strapped, both sides. And the other side. Good size, tables and chairs all set up, carpet down. It's a bit uneven, the floor, but not too bad, so we managed to get it all fixed without any issues. There's 3 straps on each side. There's no forecast for high winds over the weekend, so 3 is generally enough. Sometimes we put 4, 1 on each down. But this time it should be fine. That's coming in from the other side. I'm going to roll this end up, just let a bit of air in, because it did get a bit wet, this carpet, last weekend. I've given it a good clean and hung it out to dry, but it's been pretty much a wet week, and it was a bit difficult getting it all dried off completely. But there you have it. That's the 4x6 setup. Ready for an 18th party tomorrow. Okay, that's me done.